Well, I have to say I have a newfound respect for Godfrey Bloom, formerly of UKIP and the fake Brexit party, and Reform Nothing in the UK. And the reason why? Well, he did a podcast with the dozen, Liam Tuffs. And during that podcast, he actually admitted that neo-communist, Hope Not Hate, Nick Lowles, Matt Collins et al., who boast about being the Neo-Red Army, were in actual fact, and still are, vetting all Reform UK candidates. So it proves, that what Farage said in 2011 is a falsehood. Gawain Towler's also confirmed it as well. And now you see, because people have led this campaign for many years, namely myself and Dr. Larry O'Hara, to expose the truth about collusion between the centre-right and Hope Not Hate, that people now feel emboldened enough to come forward and speak the truth. So, Godfrey Bloom, he does deserve some credit for it. It's a noteworthy admission or confession, and I respect that fact. But, we have to ask ourselves this essential question. Why did it take so long for Godfrey Bloom and Gawain Towler to actually come forward and admit this? Well, it wasn't really, but was it, until they got kicked out of the inner circle and they decided to admit what was going on. And I've known about it since 2011. I triple checked it in actual fact with the NFB magazine at that time, before I actually published it on the Daily Agenda blog. So now we know categorically, unequivocally, for certain, from people on the inner circle of UKIP, the Brexit party, and deepfake Reform UK, that they're actually colluding with Hope Not Hate, of all people. Hope Not Hate. That fantasy and fairy tale machine funded by HM government. What is it that Reform voters and activists don't understand about colluding with Hope Not Hate? You see, they don't have a problem with it, do they? At all. Colluding with neo-communists means nothing to them. There's no BNP anymore, quite frankly, that they need to vet their members against with Hope Not Hate. That's all gone. It's yesterday's news. It's long ago. It evaporated into a wool-chasing operation. There's absolutely no need for it. So when I look at any Reform candidate, all I see is someone approved by the communists at Hope Not Hate. I do not see someone that I would ever remotely consider voting for. And we have to ask ourselves, why would anyone else consider voting for them? Oh yes, it's the desperation factor, isn't it? Well, I'm not desperate. Never have been desperate and never will be. And nor am I stupid and never will be, And whatever mistakes I made in the past in the British National Party or long ago, I've learned from those mistakes and I don't intend to repeat any of them. And I can tell you for a fact, I most definitely will not countersign Reform UK. I will not vote for any of its candidates, nor will I show any Reform UK activists any form of respect whatsoever, because they're working with Hope Not Hate. Even your parish councillor has to be approved by Hope Not Hate. Come on, if they're standing for reform. Is this not enough to put you off completely? But evidently not. And the reason why is because so many people in this country are desperate for change, they're prepared to just ignore it, to overlook it. But I'm not, because I come from a completely different political background to these centre-right fools who think that colluding with Hope Not Hate is absolutely nothing. And in terms of the video I made earlier about Steve Belshaw and Searchlight magazine, well, look, Tommy Robinson, in actual fact, he doesn't have a political movement. He has a few thousand people who are very keen and loyal to him. And he has exactly the same problem. His movement, for want of a better description, is also infested with snitches to Hope Not Hate, a fact that he's always complaining about. And this is something that has bedeviled all right-wing organisations, for decades. Why do these people feel the need to pick up the phone to Searchlight magazine, as it was, and Hope Not Hate, to grass on their colleagues? There's something terminally sick in that mentality, terminally ill, in actual fact. And that's one of the reasons why none of these right-wing organisations have succeeded, because of the plethora of snitches operating within their own ranks. And now we end up with an organisation which is, to all intents and purposes, a proxy of Nick Lowell's and Hope Not Hate, calling itself Reform UK. Although in truth, I call it Deepfake Reform UK, or Reform Nothing in the UK. And that is what I have to say on the matter. If people don't like it, no problem. But what I published in 2011 about Farage and UKIP colluding with Hope Not Hate was completely accurate and true. And all of the evidence proves it. And Gawain, Towler and Godfrey Bloom have now come out in public quite openly and confirmed it. I win. I win. Okay? The truth wins, in actual fact. The truth wins out in defense of freedom of expression. Suck it up.